One footballer had trouble getting into his jersey, while another had an embarrassing incident on live TV. These moments stand out as some of the most cringe-worthy in football history. Let's rewind to 1990, when Gary Lineker was gearing up for the most significant match of his career, England versus Ireland in the World Cup group stages. Now, if you're familiar with Gary, you know he really disliked having a lousy game. Little did he realise that things were about to get messy. We've all been in those nerve-wracking situations where anxiety can get the better of us. In Gary's case, it didn't take long before he deeply regretted his dinner choice the previous night. Even though his stomach was acting up during the game, Gary was determined to achieve one thing: scoring! His enthusiasm was evident as he managed to net a goal just 8 minutes into the match. He continued to be active throughout the game, engaging with his opponents. However, when the match clock hit the 70th minute, an unexpected incident occurred. A ball came flying at Gary and he accidentally lost control. "It's great to see you, Gary. Congratulations on your goal. That was fantastic. But unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse. You had to be substituted towards the end of the match. What was the issue?" Well, he had a bit of a stomach problem. Not only did he face an embarrassing situation captured in high definition, but he also had to use his hands to address the situation and hastily exit the field. It was quite unpleasant. Now, let's talk about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the football legend. There's this one game from 2013 that got a bit sus. You know, suspicious. PSG, Zlatan's team, were on fire, coming off 3 wins in a row. They were all set to take on Nice, who thought they could mess with Zlatan's head. But seriously, it was like bringing a water gun to a firefight. Just 10 minutes into the game, PSG scored a goal and said, "Hey, we're here to party." Zlatan was a wrecking ball out there. Then, at half-time, Nice's Renato Savelli must have thought he's the hero who can stop this madness. He locked eyes with Zlatan, with that luscious ponytail bouncing around, and thought, "I want in on this action." But oh boy, not only did he kiss a dude in front of millions, but he also got a "thanks, but no thanks" from Zlatan. Elsewhere, picture this folks, it's 2015 and the showdown of the century is happening between Ergo Telis and AE Larissa. These two teams were battling it out on the field like it was the football apocalypse. But here comes our hero, Leonardo, with a burning desire to secure that Ego Telis was leading 1-0 as they entered the 66th minute, and Leonardo was charging downfield, eyes locked on the goal. But hold on, you'd think when a player's injured, the medical staff would handle things with the care of a brain surgeon, right? Well, not this time. It's like they hired a bunch of folks who had their eyes covered with blindfolds. Instead of calmly helping Leonardo onto the stretcher, they decided to give him the roller coaster experience. They dragged him, slammed him down, and dropped him not once, not twice, but 3 times. It's like a comedy skit gone terribly wrong. But playing a game when you're sick might seem a bit questionable, right? But hold on to your seats, because Mario Balotelli's moment takes questionable to a whole new level. Back in 2011, Mario was just a rising star, and he had a game against Dynamo Kiev that was supposed to be his big break. The stage was set and the spotlight was on him, but here's where things get interesting. During the pre-game warm-ups, it seemed like the pressure was starting to get to him, and trust me, the cameras caught everything. He can't even know how to put on a shirt. Damn! Now, here's a tale that makes Cristiano Ronaldo's embarrassing moment seem like a walk in the park. It all went down in 2019 during a high-stakes Serie A championship showdown between Juventus and Fiorentina. When there's a title up for grabs, you'd expect players to bring their A game, right? So, Ronaldo and Juventus duked it out with Fiorentina, and after an intense match, they bagged a 2-1 victory, clinching their 8th consecutive Serie A title. That's some legendary stuff right there. You'd think they'd throw a massive celebration, right? And oh boy, they did. Fireworks, champagne showers, manager tossing, they went all out. It was a wild scene. They even had the trophy in their hands, But remember, Ronaldo's been here, done that, he's already eyeing the next game. But here's where the plot thickens. While he was lost in thought, he nearly sent his wife and son flying. Imagine that, Ronaldo, your own kid almost got knocked out, all because you zoned out. Alright folks, we're going back in time to 1996. It's the end of the season and Manchester City is locked in a face-off with Liverpool. The stakes as high as they come. Manchester City is in a relegation battle and they are teetering on the edge. They're in a win or go home scenario. But here's where it gets really interesting. During the game, there's a sneaky fan in the stands and they get a phone call. Little did Manchester City know this call would be their downfall. The fan starts telling everyone that Manchester City just need a tie to survive, and this message spreads like wildfire. It even reaches Manchester City's manager Alan Ball. Now, why you'd trust a fan's advice over your own instincts, we may never know, but that's exactly what Alan did, so he goes on and tells the team to play for that tie. Now here's where the real drama unfolds. As soon as Manchester City scores, levelling the game at 2-2, they go bonkers, celebrating like they've won the World Cup. But wait, isn't the goal of football to, score and win? Instead, they decide to kill time in the most ridiculous way possible. It's like they're auditioning for a comedy sketch. But amid all the chaos, there's one guy in the team who's not completely clueless. It's Niall Quinn, and he drops the bombshell. He's like, hey, maybe we should actually try to score another goal. Panic ensues. Frantic messages are flying from the Manchester City dugout and Alan Ball is on his feet, realising that a mere tie might not cut it. In the dying minutes, Manchester City desperately tries to rush and score, but it's a lost cause. Liverpool goes all out to keep them at bay. And there you have it folks, Manchester City, the first pro team ever to deliberately lose a game and find themselves kicked out of the league. Saving the best for last folks, the most hilarious moment unfolded when Mourinho was at the helm of Spurs. The stage was set, Tottenham versus Chelsea, a game filled with action and 2 epic goals. Mourinho, in a battle against his former club, was determined to snatch victory. Here's where it gets juicy. Despite fielding a slightly underpowered team in the Carabao Cup, he wanted that win badly. Now, you've probably heard of Mourinho's iconic press conferences, but this moment was pure gold. In the 77th minute, the Portuguese mastermind dashed straight down the tunnel, and the reason was as amusing as it gets. He was on a mission to retrieve Eric Dyer, who'd made a quick exit during the second half. Imagine this. Mourinho disappears down the tunnel and in a mere 30 seconds or so his player emerges. But in the 78th minute, Dyer reappears from the tunnel and just in the nick of time he pulls off a move that intercepts a promising counterattack. Why you ask? Because he had to answer nature's call. Yup, he needed a bathroom break. So here's the golden rule to avoid such relief late embarrassments. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates. You never know when we'll be bringing you the next hilarious football moment.